The Cigar Nerds Podcast.
And welcome to Cigar Nerds Podcast. I'm your host, Smokin' Joe.
I'm Brad Jackson.
And I'm smoking a little guy. As soon as I get it fully lit, I'm smoking the new Year of the Dragon Chinese New Year cigar from Punch. This year, it's the Bottle Rocket. This has a Mexican San Andreas wrapper over Nicaraguan Esteli binders and a filler blend of Nicaraguan Esteli, Dominican Piloto Cubano, Honduran Jamastran, and Nicaraguan Condega. That's a lot of shit in a little package.
It sounds like it would be absolutely delicious, though. Like, as you're listening, I'm like, man, I like all those flavors.
Yeah, I mean, this is, spoiler alert, a lot of time we go in blind on these review cigars. But this is about the third one of these I've smoked, and my only complaint so far is it's not big enough.
Well, I mean, I like the...
ton of flavor, but you're only getting like maybe 45 minutes
but
out of it.
I like the previous rendition when they did the little bento boxes type deal. So, I don't know, these come in like, a little fireworks looking container or anything cool, or...
Yeah, if you buy the full box, it looks like one of those like big fireworks containers, like the big round ones that has like a bunch of different tubes that fires. And the cigars, the individual cigars themselves have a little like bottle rocket stick attached to them. So it looks like a little bottle rocket when you when you get it out of the package.
But being a wee little guy, is it your standard like 20 cigars, or is it...
It's 20 cigars, and also these yearly releases are always on the kind of the economical side. So I think it's a 6-something cigar.
Which
in a fucking weird bottle rocket container of 20.
And given, the price of everything nowadays, it's kind of a nice commodity. Like, those are great. I remember we picked up quite a few of those, to take with us to Dragon Con and stuff, where, we don't always have a ton of time just to sit and smoke, but it's like, hey, I can actually do this in between things, and I don't feel like I'm missing out on a whole lot.
Yeah, and the price point, if you want a longer smoke, you just buy 2 of them. It's probably the same price as buying like a regular, 6-inch cigar. You just buy 2 4.5 inches for the same price, and just chain smoke them.
Yeah, but then 2 6-inches, you're getting a whole foot of a cigar.
And of course, same as every year, they have basically a fortune cookie message on the inside, and this one says, "You can't have everything. Where would you put it?" In the butt.
Challenge accepted.
So, and a little kind of house cleaning up front here. We just hit 500 subscribers on the YouTubes, which is kind of one of the first milestones I've been working on. We're not making YouTube money yet because you have to have a certain amount of watch hours. So do us a favor, just if you're subscribed, just turn it on, walk away, just let it run, just put it on repeat, let it run all day. Help us out, get those watch hours up till we can start making that YouTube money.
37 cents. All right.
So this week we're kind of going back to the past because February is kind of historically slow for new content coming out. There's not a lot of new movies, new shows coming out till later in the month. So we're going to take advantage of an anniversary and talk about the 20th anniversary of Constantine.
I was like, did you forget what we were doing?
I think I just had a stroke. I was like, fuck it. It's Keanu Reeves, so it's like I almost said John Wick. I'm like, no, we're not talking about John Wick. The other.
Well, I mean, we are talking about the other John.
Yeah, it's the other John. It's not John Wick. It's John Constantine. But with that, oh yeah, and if you got to fight demons, you should call in a Strike Force. StrikeForceEnergy.com. Use your promo code Cigar Nerds for 20% off your order.
Strike Force of Holy Water.
There you go. You mix some Strike Force with some holy water. You call it like the fucking demon spanker or something. I don't know. I'm not. I have to talk to my mixology friends. I'm not good at coming up with new drink names. But with that, we'll be back with the main show. And welcome back. It's time to talk Constantine if you're nasty. Whatever his His name is...
It's just John. Just
Big
John.
John. So yeah, this is like way back in the... Before the huge DCU, MCU. This is kind of one of those movies that just like, you know, popped out back in the day that was like, oh, we're making comic book movies now, huh?
Well, I mean, you know, I can get it.
Way back in 2005.
You know, I mean, this comes on the coattails of, you know, Keanu Reeves in The Matrix and everything of that nature. Like, I don't know. It was crazy to me, like, going back and rewatching this, and I was like, I forgot how much I actually enjoyed this movie, but there was also, like, you know, your typical, well, it didn't follow the comic books and blah, 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 and, you know, like, but for me, like, I never read the comics, so, you know, I didn't know any better. I was just like, hell yeah, we got, you know, fucking demons. We got, you know, Keanu Reeves. Like, I'm in a happy place.
Yeah, it was, and, you know, Shia LaBeouf.
As the driver. Taxi driver.
But yeah, I forgot how, and maybe it was because I rented a high-def copy. Like, I forgot how good the, like, effects were in this. I don't know if it had been, like, tweaked over the years, but I'm like, a lot of the times we watch stuff and we're like, man, the CGI in this thing is fucking horrible. But it was like, all right, yeah, this still looks pretty damn good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. Like, I watched the HD version and I'm like, huh. Like, there wasn't things that just jumped out at me. I was like, oh man, that did not age well.
Oh, the fucking, the bug guy, when he gets attacked by the demon just made of bugs and crabs for some reason, that looked badass. I was like, I mean, that's like a fucking straight up video game boss.
Video game boss just dropped on our table.
Oh shit!
You were talking about bugs, and literally, like, it just showed up. I think we're getting invaded by demons. You got any holy brass knuckles laying around?
Oh yeah, hell yeah! I need some holy brass knuckles.
The holy shotgun, something.
the holy shotgun of Antioch. Or surprised John didn't pull out a fucking holy hand grenade.
I was waiting. But I don't know, like, I forgot, like, actually how dark this film was, you know? Like, and not just in the modern DC sense of, it's just gonna be black.
I mean, it was pretty dark at times, visually and, but, you know, for anyone who doesn't know, if we back up a second, Constantine is a kind of horror superhero from the DC universe. He's basically a magician who hunts demons and evil paranormal things while chain smoking cigarettes and walking around in a trench coat.
That's all cool things from back then.
Yeah. Which was always funny that when Supernatural came out and became super popular, I would see so many Constantine cosplays at DragonCon that would get pissed off because everyone thought they were Castiel from Supernatural. I saw one Constantine walking around with a sign that says, "I'm not fucking Castiel."
Oh, that's great. I mean, dude, trench coats were the thing, yeah. Trench coats in Matrix, trench coats in, you know, like, I don't know.
But, you know, it was like budget of 100 million, made 230. Yeah, that was pretty big for the time.
No, I think money-wise it was great, you know, that, I don't know, it's almost that era, like, of that defining, where it's just cool to start literally hating on everything, because people went and obviously enjoyed the movie, but then, like, Rotten Tomatoes and all, you know, fucking Ebert and all these reviewers are like, oh, this thing sucks and blah, 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 and it's like, does it, though? Does it?
I mean, I get it if you were a hardcore fan of the comic, because in the comic, Constantine's usually a blonde English dude, where, you know, it's fucking Keanu Reeves and doesn't exactly look like blonde English dude. But it was pretty fucking good on
don't
its
know.
own. If
See,
you don't
like,
judge it based on the
I
comics.
mean, I go back to that whole thing though. Like, you know, it's almost like the same argument for Ready Player One and some of the other, you know, adaptations, if you will. It's like, if everything is already laid out for you in the book, like, where's the, you know, like, okay, maybe from an artistic standpoint to be like, oh, I wonder how they're going to pull off this character or this effect, or like, I would like to see this. But if I've read the book and I'm that big of a fan, like, in my mind, I've already created all that imagery and everything else.
Yeah, you have to change it enough to make it interesting to the people who... You're not making a shot-for-shot reproduction of I mean, look at the Jet Car Terminalist series. It's close enough to the books, but there's definitely a lot of kind of changes to the story, but it still kind of fits that same, I guess, like the feeling of it, and hits enough of the key points that it's like, all right, you know, if I have read all the books, I'm not taken out by like, oh, that didn't happen. It's just like, oh, cool. This is like, you know, just a different way that shit happens. I mean, it's still kind of...
I don't even remember how long, you know, that wasn't a very long comic series, was it? I don't know.
It was part of the...
I just know that the creator, you know, essentially was like, nope, I'm not taking any kickbacks. I don't want any credits. I have no association with this, you know, film after... But, you know, wasn't it Swamp Thing or something where he first... I don't fucking remember, dude. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, it's... Those are the Hellblazer comics, I think, is where Constantine first appeared. And we've gotten like a bunch of different versions of Constantine through the years. There's like the DC, was it Justice League Dark, where he's like a member of a more supernatural version of the Justice League. There was the Constantine TV show for 1 or 2 seasons with, I think was it Matt Smith was the actor? I can't remember the actor's name, but he was closer to the comic book version of Constantine. And then when they did, because I said that series only lasted like a season or 2, and then they did the when they had the whole DC TV universe with Arrow and Flash and all them, they had the Guardians of the Galaxy, Legends of Tomorrow. You know, eventually they brought Constantine in as a legend using the same actor from the TV show, but he was a lot closer to the kind of comic, at least in looks, comic accurate, and he was a lot more, I guess, magic and shit in the new Constantine, because I mean, there's a lot of cool shit going on, but you don't really see him, like, you know, he'll do like a thing here and there, like, you know, and scare the monsters away, but it's like you don't, and, you know, mumble in Latin to fucking exorcise somebody, but there's a lot more magic in the comic book and TV versions of it.
I don't know. I mean, maybe for me, like, you know, you don't have to CGI brass knuckles. You don't have to, like, maybe that was part of the whole thing was, you know, hey, maybe some of the special effects isn't what we hope they would be, so let's, you know, do things that practically will look better on film.
I gotta say the visuals of this, like I said, it's been a long time since I watched. I mean, the kind of the action sequences were cool, but like the visuals when he goes to hell, and it's just like I mean, it kind of looks like LA now, so it's just that, you know, like wind and fire and creepy ass demons running around.
Fire and ice. Oh wait, no, there's no ice in hell. My hell would be made of ice.
Mm.
God damn, it's always cold.
Hell froze over. But yeah, that those scenes where it gives you like just glimpses of hell was like, all right, that's pretty.
But
cool.
even Lucifer, you know, himself looked badass. You know, like, you know, a lot of times, like, you see the portrayal of Lucifer, and it's like, okay, you got your little cloven hooves, your little pointy tail, like, I don't know. But like here, I thought they did a really good job of just, oh yeah, that's the fucking devil.
Yeah, Peter Stormare, who you may you may remember him as the Russian guy from Armageddon, going, "This is how we fix Russian space station." It's like, the dude's always like some like random Russian guy, and like, I mean, he was in whatever Bad Boys 2, I think it is.
But I don't know, like,
but he had, instead of it making him look like a demon when he shows up, he looks more like a fucking gangster. He's like, the pimp ass white suit and shit, and like all tatted up, and he's like, John Constantine, the one soul I would come to reap myself. And just like the way he's like menacing, but also kind of like flamboyant, not in like a gay way, but just like a showman type thing. Like, just the way he's like just talks shit when he shows up.
I don't know. I mean, for me, like, this is up there, I mean, on par with like, almost the Underworld, series with, you got your, what is it? Your half beings or whatever, half angel, half demons, like, and even the religious overtones and history and all that kind of stuff. Like, I don't know, like, there was so much cool shit that I didn't feel like, hey, I need to pick apart every fucking thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I forgot. That's why that fucker looks familiar. Because, in Constantine's world, he's like, heaven and hell aren't allowed to, like, fully interfere. They, that violates neutrality. But they're allowed to, like, suggest and convince people to do bad shit or good shit. So there's, like, these kind of angels and half demons that kind of walk the line, either protecting or hurting. And you've got, Balthazar, who is like kind of like the main main half demon on Earth. And then you've also got Gabriel, who's played by Tilda Swinton. But yeah, fucking Balthazar, I forgot. I was like, what does that do? I forgot that's Gavin Rossdale from like,
yeah, Bush.
Yeah, I was like, I forgot that fucker was an actor.
But
I mean, you see whatever, Jared Leto and everything. He's like, back in the day, it was Gavin Rossdale showing up in all these random roles.
But I mean, it shouldn't be that surprising because the director of the film, that's where he started, was music videos and shit. I think this was his actual first full-length film that he had directed.
I don't even know if music videos are a thing anymore, but a lot of like the big directors, that's kind of where they got like whatever Mick G that's made a bunch of fucking shit. There's like,
I will say though that if anything I could pick apart, it would be the music, because there's only one thing about this to me, and it's like you hear that fucking A Perfect Circle song, and it automatically makes you think, man, this soundtrack is so badass, and when really it's not.
Just got the one song.
Yeah. But it's just used so well that it's like...
Oh. Yeah, and freaking Rachel Weisz from The Mummy playing twin sisters. So I like the start of it where it's in somewhere in South America. See dudes just digging around, and so I'm like, and they basically find a hidden compartment over an abandoned church, and it's the fucking Spear of Destiny, which anyone who grew up playing Wolfenstein and shit back in the day is like, oh shit, it's the Spear of Destiny. Even if you're not a big religious studier, you're like, us old school gamers are like, oh yeah, I know what that is.
Some cool shit's about to happen.
And that's probably
not to be confused with the Pick of Destiny, folks.
Yeah, that's a different movie. But when dude kind of gets possessed by it or by something and decides to like wander off and walk his way to LA, Like, as soon as he picks up the thing and, like, starts to walk, gets just nailed by that freaking car. And I was like, oh, shit. I mean, that one just comes out of fucking nowhere. I'm like, all right, I see what we're in for.
Final Destination did it first.
Yeah.
Except they had a bus.
Oh, but yeah, I like that freaking... That just out of nowhere fucking... And just like, speaking of like effects holding up, I mean, that's all CGI, but I mean, you said this car just like wrap around that dude, and then he like, gets up and like dusts himself off and and keep on trucking. It's like, oh shit.
Sorry, mid yawn. But yeah, no, that was one of those. It's like, all right. Because it starts off kind of slow, like, and then that happens, and it's like, oh shit, okay.
And then we get our first introduction to Constantine. Yeah, when you see this, just like little Hispanic lady making whatever in the kitchen, and goes like, open the door, and it starts freaking out, and then you get the camera kind of moves down to her point of view, and you see like, homegirl just like spider crawling across the ceiling. You're like, oh, that ain't right.
Something about bedrooms and, demon possession.
So,
and I don't know about you, but I think we're kind of screwed because nobody has like 4-post beds anymore to, tie demons down to.
You got to bring zip ties, I guess. Yeah, no one had. I need a big ass mirror, and for this, because apparently a local Catholic priest was like, nope, this is this is too fucked up even for me. Let me call in a professional exorcist mercenary, I guess.
We're gonna exorcise the demons.
And that guy too that plays the father, he's been in a bunch of shit. He's always a weird motherfucker. Pruitt Taylor Vince is Father Hennessy, who...
Father Hennessy.
And he's also an alcoholic, which makes it even funnier because he basically can hear the voices of the dead, so he just drinks to try to drown the sounds out, and wears a protective charm that Constantine gave him. But yeah, did you ever see that weird like serial killer movie where it turns out like the dude had multiple personalities, and they're all in this, like, it had John Cusack in it, and they're all in this like roadside hotel.
I don't know if I saw that or not.
But it like turns out like all these people get trapped in this hotel, and somebody's like killing them all off, and it turns out like none of it's real. It's all in this guy's head, who is a serial killer with multiple personalities, and they're trying to basically cure him because they can't like charge him with, so whatever kind of radical therapy he's going through, like all the different personalities are killing each other off in his head till he's like down to like one. And it was like this guy was the actual serial killer.
I am the personality that prevailed. I am the true killer.
But he just has one of those looks of like, you need a creepy guy in a movie.
But I mean, then again, like the stuff with the charm and, all these other little trinkets, like there's a lot of detail that went into this film that, I think was supposed to be, fan service for those folks that were picking it apart that are such huge fans of the comics.
Oh, and just when they...
Like, we should do a segment where one of us has to read the comic while the other one, just to be like, wow, did we, even see the same thing?
Got to find something that we've not watched or read yet. And like, all right, you read the book, I'll watch the movie, and then we'll see if any of this shit makes sense when we try to combine it.
Because I realize, like, I'm picking apart people that are, true fans of the comics and whatnot, and I'm like, well, I've got no reference material, so maybe I'm the asshole. Look at that. I'm doing self-reflection.
Goddamn demon, get out of here.
I told you, dude. Now it's over here.
At least it's not a bee.
Yet. Might still be a little early for those, I think the swarm streak's supposed to come to an abrupt end.
So then we have Detective Angela Dodson, who's investigating a suicide that's not really a suicide. She's convinced like her sister did not kill herself. And, when she finally finds like security footage of it, she said the one thing she says before she jumps is Constantine. So she's like, let me go check out this weird dude who everybody says talks to the dead and see if he can help me prove my sister wasn't suicidal or find out if she's in hell or whatnot. That whole first scene where it's like, he's like, all right, I can go to hell and check on her, but I'm gonna need a fucking spaghetti pot full of water, and I need something of your sister's. And he's like, is this her cat? Yeah. He's like, all right, I'm gonna need you to leave the room. She's like, don't hurt the cat. And just the whole like fucking staring like into the cat's. I'm like, of course, a cat is like the portal to hell.
Cats are always the asshole, dude. I keep telling you, and you're surrounded by them.
It's like, let me sit here and stare into the void and see if the void stares back.
That's why you're so much better at podcasting than I am, because, you understand the hell speak and can hear it, so,
Yeah.
You have all this additional aid, and I'm just handicapped and crippled over here, like...
I'm just staring into the void, and occasionally the void stares back.
Where's that cat?
Probably outside somewhere. He's probably outside plotting my death.
That's a sweet kitty. At least for those couple of minutes before we started recording.
That's how they fool you. They pretend you're sweet, and then after you let them in your house and you go to bed, they start worshiping the demons and the.
Time to summon demons.
That's why they get the midnight zoomies. It's like they're
Do cats do the zoomy things like dogs?
Oh hell yeah.
Okay.
Just for no fucking reason either. It's like all of a sudden it's like I'm just gonna do a hot lap around the house. Stretch my legs a little bit.
Get the blood flowing. All right, I'm tired. I want to be like that cat that just eats lasagna.
Yeah. And for some reason, like half of them do not want to drink water out of a bowl. Like you have to turn the faucet on. They like prefer to drink out of the faucet. It's like there's a bowl right there. Like no, it's like sitting on the sink licking the freaking
dude. It gets stale.
Nozzle until you turn it on.
They want fresh running water.
It's really funny. You turn it on all the way high, like when they're not expecting it, and they. That's probably why they're trying to kill me.
Nah. You feed them after all. But if they kill you, then, then it's like a buffet. Dogs probably wouldn't eat their owners. Cats, I bet, absolutely would. Has there been a case study on this already?
Oh, yes.
I felt like we talked about that a long time ago.
I believe I went over that when I was taking, like, death investigation classes. Like, if you die in a house and no one finds you, your dog will almost starve. It will not eat someone until it, like, absolutely has no choice. Your cat, as soon as it, like, sees there's no breathing, it's, like, lunchtime. Cat will eat you way sooner than a dog will. And then we have the kind of... like the neutral ground where demons and other supernatural forces can all...
It's like the DC's version of the Continental.
Yeah. Fucking exactly. So you even have like the manager, a.k.a. Papa Midnight, who's an old witch doctor, played by Dimijon Huns. I can't pronounce the name, but he's been in everything. He's been in Guardians of the Galaxy. He's been in Blood Diamond. You'll know him when you see him. But yeah, he's like kind of the dude that's like, yeah, no, it's like it's neutral ground. I'm demon Switzerland here. Everyone can come here and party, but you have to be a little bit seeing through the veil to even get into the club, because like when you walk in the club, like the bouncer's got a tarot deck, and he's like, you got to guess the card. There's no password. It's like, it's a rat in a dress. And you got Shia LaBeouf, Chaz, who's like basically...
Yeah, you can come in if you can get in. Well, how do I get in?
He's like, come on, John. It's like, Papa Midnight's a legend. You got to let me get in this bar. He's like, yeah, sure, you can come in if you can get in. He's like, fuck. So, he just walks right by the bouncer, and then he's like, fucking throws in the car. He's like, He tries to, like, repeat whatever John said, and he's just like, nope. He's like, oh, fuck, rat in a dress.
And then tries to run past the bouncer and is like, oh, just testing you.
I like later when Constantine's finally had enough, and he's like, all right, I'm going to make Midnight talk to me. And he just goes through there and just punches the fucking bouncer in the face. And the kid runs up like, who's a rat in a dress now, motherfucker?
Oh. Like, how do you train for that gig? Like, could we get another Constantine where it's John Wick passing the torch?
Well, he tried to, and then the kid got murked at the end, so...
I mean, but...
He got his wings, so I guess he's like a new half-breed.
Dude, I mean, come on, I mean, it took fucking John Constantine to die twice, like, perfect setup there.
Well, we are getting, supposedly,
It's like, I've been to hell, I'm back, you've been to heaven, you're back, with our forces combined, we are...
Captain Planet. Well, supposedly, there is a sequel in development. Keanu's kind of gotten in the habit of revisiting all his old characters. So we got a late Bill and Ted sequel, we got a late Matrix sequel, and I guess Constantine's next on the list. So supposedly, it is in development. So maybe we'll get a little.
Yeah, we'll see.
So let's see if he's stayed off the cigarettes or if he's got lung cancer again. That's the other subplot of this movie is Constantine's a freaking chain smoker, and he's got pretty aggressive lung cancer. And unfortunately, when he was young, when he first got his gifts before he realized what they were, he thought he was just going crazy, ended up trying to kill himself, and
he did for 2 minutes.
Yeah, and I know for sure in the Catholic religion and some other religions, that's like an automatic, you're going to hell if you kill yourself. So he's like, basically I've been doing all this good, but I can't do enough good to earn a pass. So he's like, knows he's going to hell eventually, and he's like he explains it to the detective at one point. He's like, well, imagine you go into prison and we're 80% of the inmates are people you sent there. Probably not a great place to be.
If you break it down from a religious standpoint, I mean, and I even think, the explanation that's given John is, you're doing this, not for the good of it. You're doing it, for your own personal,
glory. You're not doing it for just the good of man. You're trying to earn your way in, which is not going to.
So I mean, I thought those conflicts
doing right things for all the bad reasons.
So I don't know. I thought the subplots there were actually, pretty good. I mean, there's a lot more religious undertones and stuff with this movie that,
and him just kind of trying to make a deal. He's, going and talking to Gabriel and be like, come on, man, I'm doing a lot of, y'all need me.
I know one guy that'll make a deal.
Yeah.
Make a deal with the devil.
Yeah, and even the demons are all talking shit. You're about to go down. But, and he gets Father Hennessy to he's like, something, he's like that. Oh, yeah, when he's like, fucking tells the kid, he's like, hey, move the car. And he's like, yeah, sure, whatever. Just backs up a couple feet, and then they end up exercising the demon into the mirror, which looked pretty fucking cool, and then throwing it out the window.
If the car would have stayed in the same spot, it would have been fine.
He's like, damn it, John, it's not my car. He's like, well, I told you to move it. Yeah, but if you told me you were going to throw a 300 fucking pound mirror out the window, I'd have moved it farther. Be more specific.
Nobody look. Of course, somebody looks.
And then immediately, like, fucking hair going gray. And of course, we didn't measure the window before we, like, why'd you have to throw it out the window? Or is it because it had need to be in the daylight? Couldn't you just smash the fucking window in the house?
Well, he did. He started smashing, but then, it got caught because the frame wasn't wide enough. Like, really they should have, tilted the mirror slightly and it would have went.
Pivot, it'll go.
But, what do I know? How many mirrors have I thrown out a window?
How many demons have I trapped in a mirror?
How many demons have I trapped in a mirror?
What if
every time we walk into a room with a mirror and turn on the light, another demon gets trapped?
Or mirrors are actually just like windows to it. This is demons fucking with us, like, hey, I'm the silly human.
Well, that's why all the dumb games like Bloody Mary and all that shit. That's why it all involves mirrors.
I gotta say, and I've seen this in so many freaking movies, but it's always like the creepiest effect when someone's looking at themselves in the mirror and they turn to walk away and the reflection doesn't move. Every time I see that in a horror movie, I'm like, oh fuck, shit's about to get real.
That's not right. I don't know. I love that effect. Like I saw Netherworld start incorporating, different mirror effects like that, and I'm like, it looks cool when you see it on TV. It's real creepy when you see it in person.
Yeah, they got a lot of paintings and stuff that are really just like digital screens, and then it'll, you're looking at this paint and all of a sudden it like fucking jumps at you and shit or moves. I mean, could you imagine like haunted houses when like augmented reality becomes more of a cheaper thing to do? Could you imagine going through like a haunted house with like kind of like those meta glasses on and you're just seeing images through your enhanced effects through your glasses and shit?
I'm gonna need a Sherpa or a rope or something. Be like, I don't know. A lot of people won't be able to do that though, because it give them motion sickness.
Well, this is what you call the house. The house is called motion sickness. You're gonna try to make you puke.
It's not because I'm scared. It's, I don't know. It doesn't affect me, but several people that I've know that put the VR fucking headset on, and it's like, nope, can't do that. Like, I'm getting all queasy.
Yeah, especially just like ones where the frame rate isn't quite there, so there's just a little bit of a lag when you move. Like I've seen, that can make some people spew. I've never had a problem with motion sickness, but yeah, haven't spent like hours in VR either.
And realistically, it won't take that long. Like, most people, almost immediately, if it's going to impact you, you're going to know it. I don't know. It is weird, though. Like, when I was using VR and the sim rig and stuff like that, like going around corners and stuff, like, even though nothing's physically moving, like, you naturally, like, your body wants to lean with shit, and you're, like, looking around, like, I can see this whole world, to the left, to the right of me, and all this other shit. Like, it's pretty wild, but
it's just like the tricks your brain can play on you with them. Like, I remember back in the day at Six Flags, there was like a theater that it had basically a curved screen, and they would play these like motion intensive like videos, and just the way the screen was shaped and how it kind of wrapped around you, like, made you feel like you were moving. Like, nothing like like the state, it wouldn't, like, you go down the 4D theaters where the seats and everything actually move. This was like old school technology. There was nothing moved. It was just the image on the screen made you feel like you were moving. And that was like,
secretly the whole building is moving.
Yeah.
I mean, technically we're all moving right now. I mean, the fucking Earth rotates. Does it though? I don't know.
No, it's flat, man. It's just like it's
like spinning, like
yeah,
you dropped a plate and the saucer's just fucking spinning on the kitchen floor.
Yeah, it's like a fucking record player. It's that's how the Earth, the flat Earth thing goes, I guess.
I mean, seems legit. They might be onto something.
You spin me around. Oh, earthquakes is when someone like scratches the DJ scratching the record. That's when we get earthquakes and shit.
You're gonna laugh because I got a thing to tell you after we wrap up.
I like the when the alcoholic priest like basically drowns himself in alcohol. Like the trick the demon's playing on him is like he's like, I'm trying to get all these voices out of my head, and he's like just runs into the liquor store and just starts trying to chug everything, but it just like disappears as soon as he like turns it up. But in reality, he's actually like chugging a whole fucking liquor store and just basically drowns in booze. I was like, I always thought that was like a creepy ass kill in the first time I saw this movie. And then it turns out the guy behind the counter is, I guess, an angel as well, or a half breed as well. But he's, because he gets kind of a, stare off with Balthazar. And then kind of John's like supply guy who gets him like his holy water, and his apparently demons don't like screaming cockroaches, so he gets him a screaming bug in a box to. He's like to me and you it doesn't sound like anything, but if you shake this around a fucking undead, it's like nails on a chalkboard. He IDs the symbol that the father left him. That he turns out it's like basically the son of the devil who's apparently tired of his father's shit and wants to like rule the world himself, but he can't just cross over like there's like a special ritual. He has to possess a psychic and then basically be sacrificed with the spear of destiny to be able to pop into our world and create hell on earth.
So many rules.
But yeah, when that dude just gets like, fucking killed with bugs, which we don't really get to see that much. We see all the bugs coming for him, but you don't get to see the death until they find the body. But when that's the point where John's like, all right, I'm pissed off, and he puts together like the holy fucking shotgun. I was like, that's fucking awesome. I want a holy street sweeper, like all fucking gold plated and
shoot gold rounds and shit.
Basically had a cross.
It only makes sense, The silver bullets are for the werewolves, the gold ones are for the demons.
Because he'd gotten that, I think he called it like dragon fire, freaking.
I thought they called it dragon's breath.
Yeah, it might have been dragon's breath. I can't remember.
I'm like, that's not dragon's breath as I know it, but it kind of has that same effect.
But it had that little flaming wand. And he like incorporates that into like the shotgun, and just like when he shoots fucking Balthazar with it, and he's like, basically blows his face off, and you see his like whole like demon stuff underneath, but then like the face is all like cracked, like he's almost made out of glass, but like the broken half of his face that is like the eyes still over there moving and shit, even though it's like no longer attached to his head. I was like, all right, that's pretty cool.
I don't know. I just thought it was kind of cool, like, having the different tools of the arsenal and using it in different scenarios. Although I thought it was weird, like, when he got attacked by your bug boy, and, like, he drops his cockroach in the middle of the street. And I'm like, this guy's, like, already made of bugs. Like, is this a predatory bug? Is that why he's afraid? Like,
yeah, why is the guy that's, like, I didn't even think about that till just now, but why is the guy made of bugs afraid of the screeching bug? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
I had a brain fart.
When he's fighting that dude, it gets hit by like a fucking semi, and just bugs splatter everywhere. I was like, oh, that's messy.
It's like driving through Florida.
Yeah.
It's always funny to me. It's like, all right, we're going on a road trip. Let's clean our car. Like, you get into South Georgia and Florida, and it's like fucking bugs everywhere.
Oh. Or when they're when he tells the girl like what's really going on, and she's like, oh, this is all you're just fucking crazy, and he sees the whatever they are, demons, like coming for her, and he chases her down, and it's like everything starts getting dark, and when he's like, all right, close your eyes, and she's like, she's like, all right, up to you, and like this like basically like holy flashbang, and it's just like fucking sky is full of these little flying demon things, and they all run away and shit, and he's like, you may not believe in the devil, but apparently the devil believes in you.
But I thought that was cool though, like to be like, I don't know, I mean, films like this always do something where it's like, it makes you wonder, Yeah,
is there, kind of a secret underworld of shit going on in the, just under the surface that we don't know about?
So remember, if you don't believe in yourself, the devil believes in you.
Yeah, it's like, at least somebody believes in you. Unfortunately, it may be the devil, but And
maybe he's not the cool guy to hang out with like he's always portrayed. I don't know.
But yeah, when they finally go to midnight and figure out what the fuck's going on, and because before that, he gives the girl the necklace and is like, hey, just consider this a bulletproof vest, but she, of course, dumbass takes it. He tells her to stay in the car, and she takes off her jacket and leaves the pendant behind and goes chasing after him into the building while he's fighting Balthazar. And just that like sudden her getting like snatched through the fucking wall and just like you're just getting sucked out of the building was like, that was cool as shit. And I like once she gets sucked out, like if you can hear like the flapping, you never see what took her, but you can hear like the flapping of like big ass wings, and it's like, I bet we got an angel that's a fucking traitor. And sure enough, old Gabriel shows up, and she's like, I'm basically gonna cause an apocalypse, that way people will people have forgotten about God, so I'm gonna give them something, fear and pain, so they turn to God. And I'm like, bitch, you crazy. But yeah, I appreciate that. This like,
I just like how we're like just a fucking experiment. Like, God's like, yeah, sure, you do whatever.
Yeah, like he says, he's like, God's a kid with an ant farm. He doesn't give a fuck. He's like, we're all on our own. Oh, but that when they're preparing for battle, and he's like, the whole building's like full of fucking demons. Like, how do we even get close enough to like stop this? And then the kid's like, holy water. Like, there was certain artifacts that could basically create holy water without any kind of priest involved, because they were such powerful objects. And he's like, you wouldn't have to have one of those crosses laying around, would you? And Midnight's like, all right, I kind of like this kid. And sure enough, they like, put the fucking fancy cross in the water tank of the building's sprinkler system. And he just like walks into the room like full of all the possessed demon people, and he'd be like, all right, I'm giving you all one chance. If anyone wants to live, now's the time to fuck off. And he just like gets up on the chair with his damn lighter and just like turns on the fucking sprinklers. And they're all like, oh shit, it's raining holy water.
I mean, technically, if a priest just goes to a water treatment plant and blesses it, like, wouldn't everybody just have holy water then?
I mean, could.
I mean, that's
maybe.
Is that what it takes?
Maybe we should, just in case of like vampires and demons,
exactly.
Every municipal water treatment plant should have a priest on.
Maybe they do that already. Maybe that's why we haven't been invaded by demons.
That's what fluoride is. we thought it was like,
to prevent tooth decay. No, it keeps the demons away.
Yeah.
Like,
that's why so many people drink
there's
bottled water now.
There's going to be an audit done by the government, and they're going to be like, this document just released shows Yeah, we've been battling demons all this time.
That's the newest thing Doge is going to find that the government's wasting money on. It's like turns out we've got demon
It's
fighters all
expensive
over
to get a priest to bless a water treatment facility.
We spent $80 million on blessing the water.
But have you been possessed by demons?
Not that I'm aware of.
So can we say that it wasn't money well spent?
All right, then I guess you got a good
Dude,
point.
I should be a lobbyist.
So yeah, we get the fight in the insane asylum with John Wick Constantine and
John Wickenstein.
with the 50 demons. I mean, he's got his cool holy shotgun blasting people, and he like runs out of ammo, and the kid just shows up with just a standard ass shotgun. I'm like, you got some holy shales or something? Like you just got a regular old like fucking Mossberg there. Yours not even gold. Like, how'd you just kill a demon?
12 gauge. It's good for everything.
Yeah, pretty much. That's always like, it's probably why we haven't seen vampires in the modern age. One thing I've learned from watching, all the vampire movies, decapitation usually works on most supernatural entities, and a 12 gauge, buckshot to the face, does a pretty good job of decapitation.
Some reason I started getting your calendar alerts.
I think it's probably because of the what are Cigar Nerds emails all fucking linked up.
Like, my phone went off one day and it's like, belt test. I'm like, I don't have a belt test. Joe has a belt test.
It depends on what fucking calendar it's signed
It's
in.
almost like, a shared Facebook account. One of us cheated.
Yeah. Oh. Oh, but yeah, when homegirl's like possessed and trying to give birth to a demon baby, fucking that was what. Yeah, like fucking him. Like I guess it's a fucking holy abortion there because he's like fucking speaking Latin in her rubbing hands on her belly, and it goes away for a minute, and then invisible fucking turns out Angel shows up and like kicks the shit out of him and the kid, and he starts doing the magic, reveal yourself, and pops up, hi, it's Gabriel.
Hi.
Like, what the fuck you doing, bitch? But then he finally and the thing is, he tells the kid, he's like, it's not like it is in the books or whatever. And after he finally gets like just basically crushed, he's like, you're right, John. It's not like it was it's not like it is in the books. Because of course, the sidekick always has to get killed. And that's like every superhero movie. Don't be the girlfriend or the sidekick. One of you's gonna die.
Or the side chick.
Yeah, you got to motivate the hero, somehow for the final battle.
Be like, here, take all of this agony with you into battle.
And she just like fucking holy pimp slaps him into the next room. And he finally is like, well, the only thing I can do is to get the devil, if God's not going to help me, I guess I'm going to have to talk to the other guy. And he like fucking slits his wrist and shit. So the devil shows up and he's like, yeah. The only soul I would show to pick up myself. And he's like, do you mind? He's like, no, I got time. He's like trying to like light a cigarette. And he's like, yeah, you cut the tendons. It makes the hands hard to use. He's like, here, let me light that for you. And he's like, fucking, it's still the devil. So he's like, fucking with him and won't immediately light it for him. And I gotta say, this little ass bottle rocket, I didn't expect it to make it through the entire. I figured like halfway into the main segment.
Dude, that thing's packed with so many different things. Like, It may burn forever.
Yeah, this is, for a little guy, this is at least a 50-minute to hour smoke, depending on how much you let it rest.
Which, then again, like, most of the time you power through a cigar where, this one here, like, you've sort of taken your time with it seems.
Yeah, just kind of it's such a short experience. I'm like, I gotta savor it, and
well, that's how every cigar should be.
Yeah, that's like, everyone's like, oh yeah, here, we got these cool cigar rests. You put your cigar down, or like I saw one the other day. To me it was kind of dumb as shit, but it was like a rubber.
That's
cigar,
called a condom.
No, not that kind of rubber, but it was a silicone type band that had a magnet in it. So like if you're on the golf course or whatever, you can wrap that around your cigar and just basically like stick it to the side of anything metal to hold your cigar. And I'm like, who puts their cigar down that long that they need a fucking rack for it? I'm like,
see, like
once I light up, it barely leaves my hand.
If I were to ever play golf, like, that'd be the thing. I'd be like, nah, somebody else swing the club. I'm just here to smoke cigars.
Yeah, golf is a perfectly good walk in nature ruined by a game.
I just,
I mean, you could probably smoke and do your frisbee golf. That doesn't require like swinging. Have you tried to maintain a cigar while trunking frisbees?
I can barely maintain myself while chucking frisbees. Okay,
because a golf club takes two hands, but a frisbee it's just the wrist. So you should still be able to hold your cigar in the
other
hand.
Of a different mechanic, my friend. You should come out sometime. You get humbled. Like, it's amazing, because some days I'll be like, man, I did so good, and then I'll go another day and I'll be like, I have no clue what I'm doing.
Yeah, I mean, like, I throw ninja stars. I should be able to throw a frisbee. Like, I don't know if there's anything to translate to like throwing shurikens and knives to like throwing frisbees at a metal thing basket. Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Then
that's all little I know of the sport.
The problem is all the shit between you and said basket, like the trees, the creeks.
Nothing's rarely a straight shot. You gotta. What was that movie Wanted, where they're curving the bullets? You gotta learn to do that shit with your discs.
I sort of did kinda. They call that Heiser and then Anheuser.
Like Bush.
There is a lot of beer drinking in disc golf, though.
Makes sense.
And if I
mean, there's a lot of drinking in regular golf.
And partaking of the devil's lettuce to fetch your cup of tea. Not my cup of tea, but...
Yeah. Throwing frisbees through the woods, that does sound like a sport invented by stoners.
But at the same time, it's like, you throw on a 30, 40-pound backpack, and, like, you're rucking for, 3 miles. Like, damn good exercise. And the objective, because I'm never just going to be like, hey, I should go walk. So because there's an objective,
you got to have something to like
exactly.
trick yourself into exercising. But yeah, Devil shows up and he's like, "Hey, by the way, your idiot son's trying to like invade this plane of existence in the next room." And he's like, "Whatever, you're just trying to trick me, so I won't take you to hell." He's like, "Dude, like I'm not going anywhere. Like fucking go check it out." And he's like, "All right, whatever." And he's like, "Oh shit, these motherfuckers." Oh, and then Angel suddenly gets like, "Oh, I will smite you in the name of," and then like it goes to throw a punch and it just stops. He's like, seems like Daddy ain't got your back no more. He's done figured, like I made a call. He knows what shit you've been up to, and then like the effect of her freaking wings just like burning off and shit, and then he goes back and he's like, "All right, yeah." He's like, "I saved the girl." He's like, "So what do you want in exchange? Like, you want me to save you?" He's like, "No, I just want you to like let her sister out of hell." And that was the thing that like finally saved his soul. And he goes that effect when like the devil goes to grab him and drag him off to hell, and all of a sudden he gets like super heavy and he can't pull him, and he's like, "Damn it, noble sacrifice!" And he's like raising up to heaven, and he's like that giving the devil the finger over his shoulder as he's like riding up to heaven. But of course the devil's so petty. He's like, "Nope, I'm just gonna heal you. That way I got a second chance at your soul. Like, hey, you you've been blessed, but now you're back to being human. You got plenty of time to fuck it up again, John. I'll be seeing you. Let's see if you can maintain being sin free.
Such trickery.
And then Gabriel's like, here, take your shotgun, strike me down. And he's like, nah, you get to suffer being a human. And he's like, look how much you could have killed me, John. You just punched me in the face. You're like, see, all my teachings. You're finally being a good dude. And he's still trying to like. He's just like, whatever, bitch. What does a newly humaned angel do now? Does like she got to go get a job at Target or something or?
No, you could get a job at Goodwill. See what I did there?
Yeah. You start studying magic and you become the Ancient One or whatever her name was in Doctor Strange, the Sorcerer Supreme. She becomes the Sorcerer Supreme,
or like some kind of historian or something, and people be like, "No, this isn't true," and you're like, "Oh my god, I've witnessed it firsthand. I've lived it. Nobody believes me."
It's like, motherfucker, I was there. Oh. So as we kind of bring this all into a landing here, these bottle rockets, it's like I said, the only downside is they're so small because it's a ton of flavor, a lot of like pepper, earthy, spicy, like all the great things. It's just you got to smoke 2 of them to have a normal length cigar experience. But they're cheap, so you can do that.
I might go buy a box of those.
So any final thoughts here on Constantine?
Just do good.
Get a trench coat and a golden Zippo.
It's all been done before.
Oh. And I like that one part, like fucking Monster like rips I think Midnight or somebody rips his shirt up and he's like, "That's a $200 shirt, asshole." Because even though he's a demon stunner, he's got style.
I mean, did you see the Lucifer Netflix series? Like they all have style. Like
yeah.
It's just that's what Hollywood is.
In
all just demons.
Because at one point in like Legends of Tomorrow, that version of Constantine, he actually goes to like see Lucifer at one point to like ask for a favor, and it's the guy from the Lucifer TV series. Yeah. So that it's all like in the same universe. Oh, but that's all we got for you this episode. We'll be right back with some science. And you've been watching the Cigar Nerds podcast. Check us out on cigarnerdpodcast.com and on the ESO Network, esonetwork.com. And don't forget, smoke them if you got them. Like, comment, and subscribe.